characters to this ensemble, this veritable cornucopia of killers.
I told her quite a story, said I love her forevermore. But the trouble is I tell the same old story to every girl that walks through the door. This is the slickster talking at you, honey. Well, first they love me, and then they don't. Sometimes they do it, and sometimes they won't. So I said to this girl, hey, you get out. And she got to her feet and began to shout, you a die so bro, a die so bro, and you're always lying to your friends. You're a die so bro, and you never get nothing in the end. What you talking about, ladies? This is the slickster talking to you. I don't do nothing but tell the truth. Well, they thought this dude might learn a lesson, but I didn't learn a thing at all. While late last night I was out there messing with a lady that was 7 feet tall. Now that was a big one. So I said, hey baby, spend the night at my house. She said, no way, you jive little mouse. I said, hey now baby, can't take no more. So she threw me on the floor in a figure 4, singing jive so bro, a jive so bro, and you always lie to your friends. You're a jive so bro, a jive so bro, and you never get nothing in the end. Hey, wait a minute, everybody. Ain't no jive so bro. Now come on now, band, and break it down for the slickster now. Sooner or later you'll see the light. You gotta stop your job for the good night.
And here we go.
Good Tuesday evening. Welcome to Tuesday Night TerrorVision. Etep from Wrestling with Horror. Right back here with you. Joined by Mrs. Co-host Trina from Real Horror.
What's
Welcome
up,
back,
guys? Trina. Awesome to be here and great to have you, Tyler and Tyler. Looking forward to this review with you guys.
Absolutely. We just finished this one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we made it just in time. So it's still fresh in our minds what that was.
Same. I just watched it as well. The wife watched it with me. It was like I said, I'm going to be heavily biased because I kind of live in West Michigan where this is based and shot. They did pickups. It's funny. They did we'll talk about where they did some pickup shots, which is totally not Michigan, but kind of funny. But here we let me welcome the chat. We got let's see, we got Keely Chow. What's up, Keely? Slasher, what's going on, Slasher? Good to see you. Manliness, let's see.
McSplitter.
Slasher McSplitter, what's going on, brother? What's good? We got Manliness Motivation. Let's hear Trina's opinion of AEW wrestling. Hey, Vincenzo, welcome. J-Man, I gotta pick up those other J-Man's renting some. I'm renting some other movies from J-Man. I'm looking forward to it. Expanding the library a bit. Welcome everyone, and to our patrons and channel members, welcome and thank you. Speaking of thanking our patrons and channel members, that's what I'm going to do right now. So we'll see you in 52 seconds. So thank you to channel members and patrons. We appreciate you guys out there. Links in the description. That's patreon.com // Jesus Christ. There's an H on / wrestling with horror. Jeez. Death me, baby. The American dream doth erode. Trina's ready to talk about wrestling. Oh, my phone's vibrating. Fuck! I don't know how she does it. She's Quick Straw McGraw over there. Speaking of Quick Straw, there was a Quick Straw in the Deer Camp movie. He was a Mexican. I was holy shit. All right, Deer Camp 86. Here the fuck we go.
He's playing with us. Words pray. Where are you going?
I'm going back to Detroit, where it's safe.
I love that part. He's like, I'm going back to Detroit. I'm like, oh my god. I just did.
I bought this, a physical copy of this. I did not know this movie existed before I was walking through my local Walmart, and I'm like, Deer Camp 86. They should have stayed in Detroit. Okay, I'm buying this. I'm $10. I'm buying this. So I'll do the honors of reading the box. In the fall of 1986, 6 friends from Detroit traveled to northern Michigan to partake in the annual tradition of deer hunting. But something horrific has been awakened, and the hunters have become the hunted. Deer Camp 86. They should have stayed in Detroit where it was safe. Yeah, it's a very. Now I watched an interview with the guy that played the sheriff, Sheriff Paulson. His name is I can't remember his name. Something Paul.
It's like, I think his last name is like Wilson. It's like there's a David or something. I don't know. But like I just realized Paulson and Wilson. I was like,
yeah, Paul Wilson is his name. And they were talking about the origins kind of this movie, and I can speak to the fact that there are those billboards in Michigan. There's a lot of Indian reservations in Michigan. There is, with the the res areas around the casinos and such like that, because you have the Indian run casinos by the tribes here. So there's always a proliferation of missing Native American girls, and they said they wanted to take that message and do something with it, and they kind of use that to frame the story with the crux of the story, and it's based in Native American kind of mythology. If you're into that kind of thing, like skinwalkers, that kind of, the Wendigo, familiar with that kind of stuff, which that's the whole thing around the woods and all that. But that's kind of like the crux of this, is like a Native American type cursed land, you know. And I thought like what they did with putting the deer camp story around that. And he even said, he goes, we didn't do it in a heavy-handed way. We didn't want to like preach, but we wanted to include the message and then kind of make a movie around it. And that's what they did. And like I said, I live in northern Michigan, not where this is based, but I've lived in that kind of in that vicinity. I lived there for about 7 years. And it's not great, but I enjoyed it. A lot of the issues were in dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh my God, some of the dialogue. But you know, this was all put together like in Trina. I don't know if you knew this, but it's kind of put together in an Evil Dead fashion. This is like a very like ground roots, family and friends funded type movie, which I have a lot of respect for. I thought that was freaking cool because it's like the director lives in that, like I think in that side of the state, and she was called, hey, we need a cabin, we need a farm, you know, and we need a land, and that's how they got everything. That's how they got funding. That's how they got the money, and I thought that was really cool. I do. The independent thing, I like that. I respect that a lot.
Yeah.
So that kind of,
that's exactly like that's exactly what Bruce Campbell did. Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi did, or is it Ted Raimi? I always mix.
I think it was Sam Raimi who helped him with it, and I think Ted was just along for it. I think.
Yeah, I always get those two mixed up, but yeah, that's exactly how they got the funding for the Evil Dead, the first Evil Dead. So yeah, I totally, and there was some Evil Dead elements in this movie I picked up on.
Definitely like some camera shots, like especially when someone's like running. I'm like, that is very Evil Dead. That is very like spirit, like following someone.
Yep,
I like that.
It was influenced by the Predator.
Yeah,
very. Carlos is Billy. Carlos is like, Mom, can we have Billy from Predator? We have Billy from Predator at home, and here's Carlos from Deer Camp 86. But he was that type of character. You didn't have obviously a Dutch in this, but no, it was influenced by Predator in a lot of ways, like the camera shots, like you alluded to with Evil Dead. I saw some Predator influence in there with that. The nature of the cast and the way they tried to maneuver and operate and hunt this thing was very Predator-esque. The cast itself, I thought they worked pretty well together as far as like synergy as actors. The lighthearted comedy scenes worked, but like I said, before we really get into the movie, a lot of the dialogue is just like my wife was just going like, oh my God, like nobody talks. She goes, she asked me, she stops, she goes, you've been a deer. Yeah. She goes, do guys really? I was like, no. I'm like, not somebody's a complete fucking like shitbag. Like, no. Like nobody would like talk. You're there to like have a good time and fucking drink beer and, you know, hopefully get some deer and
which was about half of the film. Just, hey, drink.
Yeah. You know, I'm just like, that's not at all like, you know, but I understand the need for the tension amongst the characters to kind of drive the story. But it seems like there could have been a better means to an end to get there for that. I don't know if that makes sense other than something, you know, like we were talking about the hang on, let me look his name up. It was Egbert EP. Yeah. Jesus Christ, this guy, I felt bad for him. I'm like, this dude is just a fucking punching bag.
Why?
Like,
I don't understand why he was even there. Like a character like that wouldn't have gone and done this trip. He just wouldn't have.
Friday the 13th Part 6. This is the exact same character, the little nerdy dude, Ned with the glasses that got off playing paintball. That's him.
Yeah, that's right.
This is almost, it seems like it's like a direct Friday the 13th Part 6 came out in 1986. This movie's based in 1986.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Charlie Day with the fucking all the strings and shit everywhere. Just that's what I'm doing here. I might be reaching. I might be reaching, but
That's another thing. Like, this movie was supposed to be set in 1986, and I didn't get a 1980s vibe at all from this. It felt very modern.
I got a very 2000s like cabin fever vibe.
Yeah.
Yes.
So not exactly too modern, but like not 86.
It's like they went for the aesthetic with like the vehicles and the bar
and the camera.
The big camcorder, which I was like, okay. And then I don't know, it just seemed, I don't want to say the dialogue was modernized because it really
it did seem like it. It did. It felt modern to me.
It kind of did. Like, I don't know. There was something in that 80s aesthetic that was just, it didn't, I know what they were trying. I appreciate what they were trying to do. I do. But I don't know. I don't know what it was.
It's too clean.
Yeah, I think it was very much very clean.
Yes.
Too quick.
Yeah.
Like for something super like like all over the place for them to say, but it like comes out super clean.
Yeah, because it's like you can have all the stuff that came out from that time era, but it's too clean feeling with it there though.
It definitely I think that's what that's the aesthetic there was something missing. And then I noticed you met Simon, the black guy. His hair, he had a modern hairdo.
Yes.
So back then that would have been a fro.
Yeah.
He would have had a flat top.
It could have been a flat top. I mean,
like a high top fade. That's honestly, it would have been like a high top fade, which he had the hair for it. I'm like, they should they did with Lucas from Stranger Things, the younger black kid.
Yeah,
he had that. Like as he aged up, it went from just like having regular, like almost like a small like fro. Just his hair was just regular. It was just a regular rounded hairdo. And then it went to the high top fade in season 4. That's about the era where they were at with this one. And it's like, that's kind of what I thought it would have helped, with that, because it was modern. Because I was looking at him going like, it's not that there was a black guy in the cast and there was a Mexican. I was like, okay, whatever. No, it really wasn't. It was just like, he doesn't have a 1980s black guy hairdo.
No.
Like, or
honestly, like 1980s black guy attitude either.
Yeah.
And that's just my opinion.
Yeah, that is true.
He was very he acted very much like the meme, like especially like, later in the film when he was like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like he didn't do like what a black guy normally do, which is
die.
That's what I thought he was gonna die first. But all right, so we'll start. We'll start. Trina, do you want to start off?
No, this is your movie. You got it.
All right.
Because it's his movie. Maybe it's gone over our city boy heads.
No, we go to the fucking. I live in like I grew up in the country. Now I'm all like cityfied. Well, anyway,
Same.
But no. So we
there.
So we start out and they're in the Suburban, which I love the Suburban because I always love those 80s boxy Suburbans in this thing. And they've hit something, which is a deer. They've got it strapped to the roof of the truck, and they're going to their cabin. They're going to a cabin. You got your friends, which their names are. You have Wes, Buck, Simon, JB, Carlos, and Egbert or EP, who is our guy who's one of these things is not like the other. Buck is the rotund, very loud, boisterous character. We'll call him for now. Wes is pining for his love that he just lost.
Like it was like a month ago, didn't you say that? Like it was like they broke up like a month ago.
Yeah.
A month.
He's simping still. Simon, as we mentioned, is our black guy of the cast, and he's way too smart for that time period for a black guy in a horror movie. But I'm like, I see what you did there. They subverted our expectations. Our expectations. So we have JB, who owns the Suburban, which is titled The Beast. And then we have Carlos, who is our war vet, who is in Lebanon, and Egbert, who is our nerd in our main cast. So those are our main characters. And they... Egbert. Egbert.
God, can we not? Like, why? Why Egbert? Is that a common name in Michigan?
No, I've never met anybody named Egbert. I've met more LaShondas and DeWans than I have Egbert.
I've never met an Egbert.
Me
I've
neither.
never heard of an Egbert. I kept calling him Edgar. I was like, that sounds closer to what I'm hearing. But then the fucking caption comes up, Egbert. I'm like,
I've heard of that name from something, but I don't know where though.
well, it's
It's just one of those strange names, like that one dude, the Benedict, Cumberbatch dude. whatever his
Benedict
name is.
Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
It's just one of those weird names. That's just like
Yeah.
okay,
Benadryl cucumber. Is
yeah,
that his name?
Benadryl cucumber.
Oh God. No, they decide they need to stop for gas, and they stop at a roadside bar. And they decide to Buck's like, hey, we gotta go in. My liver's tickling. Again, please.
The entire time he was just drinking, I was just like, this poor liver.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like, then he's not a small man either, which is like, oh God, his heart is just. And then he's chewing tobacco while he's drinking, which
Yeah.
Gross.
I've done it. I've had a fucking dip in my lip, and I've been drinking a beer and smoking a cigarette. It's happened before. But no, it's just like I was a much different person. It was a long time ago. I remember the last time I had a dip in my mouth, I was playing baseball, and I come in from the outfield, and my wife and I, we just started dating, and she's like, what the fuck? And I was like that, you know, and she's like, that's fucking disgusting. She goes, do not ever do that in front of me again. And that was like 15 years ago.
What are you talking about? It's Big League Chew, I promise.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, it's great. I was gonna do a David Spade. I was like, you can keep the skull, baby. Give her a kiss like Joe Dirt. But no, she spurned my advances, as it were. But so they go into the bar, and we have our very, very attractive bartender, Star, who is a very lovely woman played by Tina Joy. And they, of course, are out-of-towners, and they run afoul of some of the local hill jacks, as they call them, which is a term I have heard before. And those type of folks are, and I can say I've been in some small dive bars, and while it might not be as blatant as somebody wearing a fucking Confederate flag on their shirt, which also is not other. I have pictures on my camera roll from when I lived in Big Rapids, which is a university town, but surrounded by hill jack country, as it were. And there next to me in a parking lot at Meijer sat a truck that looked like it should have been in this movie, probably driven by one of the aforementioned hill jacks. And it did have a Confederate flag flying in the back of it. And I'm just like, are we really? Like, this is what we're doing? Like, holy shit. Like, where the fuck am I again? But yeah, you know, and then the guy that got into the truck looked like he should have been in this bar scene in the movie, which was, yeah. And of course, you know, the Wes is already, he's smitten with our bartender. He's Twitter-pated, as it were. So easily he falls yet again for the first woman he sees.
He's not even over the first one.
No.
He's already like fallen madly in love with this bartender. Like, he doesn't even know.
Yeah. And we have what was Buford, which is a common name in West Michigan, Buford. All I could think of was fucking
Dukes of Hazzard.
No, him and no, Smokey and the Bandit. Buford T. Justice here.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Jackie Gleason. Jackie fucking Gleason.
Yeah.
Buford T. Justice. Wait, hang on. I've got the fucking. I don't have a sheriff's hat, but I've got my vacation hat. You know, and Buford T. Justice here. Boy, I don't look like Panama fucking Jack. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. But Buford tries to accost our bartender, and Wes, being the, you know, chivalrous gentleman that he is, and a fucking simp. No,
it also still reminds me of fucking Leon.
Yeah.
It's just how quickly he's like, whoa.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole time we were
Bro.
watching it, I was just like, Leon.
And when
Ashley.
when you mentioned that, I saw, like I said, because we just played Resident Evil 5 and 6. I'm like, oh my God, that is Leon. That's Leon Kennedy. But so he intervenes, and they part ways, and the boys commence to drinking and doing shots and ripping on poor Egbert some more, and discussing why he's not going to take a shit.
Like, we're gonna do it outdoors? Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Of course we're gonna do it outdoors. Yeah, it's only a week. I'll wait.
Yeah. He's like,
Okay. A week.
what? A week? That's not
I'm a
safe.
coffee drinker. Give me an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I have like a sip of coffee in the morning, and it's like, God damn it!
I'm stuck in
But-
traffic. Gotta poop.
So they're commiserating in the bar, and Wes is trying to spit game on Star here.
Well, we can't forget
pop
about the part where it's like, yeah, can we get 2 beers and a tampon for him?
Oh, that was
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Picking on Egbert.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
Huh?
never mind. Just
Did-
tampon.
he wants
just a tampon.
he wanted the
Just
light beer,
light.
and
Yeah, spike horn.
Yeah.
Spike horn.
Spike horn
Spike
light.
horn light. Yep.
and she's like, "Oh, we don't have spike on light," and he goes,
Or-
"Okay,
or
then just
be
a
a tampon for
tampon."
him then.
Tampon.
Or the scene at the beginning where he's in the truck and he's about to blow chunks too.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Because they like
The
Put
blood
the
from
fucking deer on the
'cause
top.
This blood
Yeah.
over the windshield, and they turn it on, and he goes, "Oh!" And he's like, "You better not puke in here right now, I swear."
Don't fucking puke in my new truck.
Yeah,
he would not be there
no,
in a
No.
realistic situation.
yeah. And then he was like at the gas when they were cleaning off the blood on the windshield. He
He
was
did it.
like rubbing
He
his
did it
neck. He
again.
was
He
like,
was
"What are you
like,
doing to your throat?" He's like, "It calms my gag reflex. Looks like you're about to take down a dick."
Yeah, he's sitting there going like this with his
Yeah.
fucking throat. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Ugh.
Yeah, there's never been anybody like Egbert at our deer camp. Like those that just they don't hunt. Like the guy, like I did. He never once struck me as somebody who would ever
Mm-mm.
have the stones to shoot a fucking deer. Like, I mean, he might want to, but he's not gonna fucking. It's just unless it's one of those like guided hunts where they basically take you in a pen and they're like, okay, there's one right there, and there's 50 of them. Shoot that one. That's basically the kind of hunt that I could see him going
That's
on.
one
Like,
thing, but on this trip,
but-
he was their bitch.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And-
Like they just brutalize that fucking guy. So we get let's see, we have the fight scene in the bar. We have the fight scene, which they have that. I love that they have the standoff at first, and I like doesn't the one guy punches Carlos because he calls him like a wetback or something.
Yeah.
Like,
he punched
yeah,
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He punches Carlos, and Carlos is just like, Carlos is the most like alpha, but like
Yes.
douchey motherfucker there, even though
Yep.
he's not supposed to be. But he just went,
Mhm.
and then he just
Yeah, he just
they went out.
and then he.
And
just
by the way,
went after
the
him.
opposing team got their fucking asses handed to them.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yes,
exactly.
they did. That was as satisfying as watching the skinheads get their asses beaten higher learning.
Don't forget Egbert.
Yeah, throwing food, and he's
Like
like,
just throwing shit.
He's like, the fuck? And he's like, oh shit.
he falls.
What's up, Anime Night? Channel member for 6 months. Thank you, sir. Hope you're having a good night as well. What's up, Tommy? Good to see you, Tommy, in the Guinea Pig Collective. Hail. Yeah, Egbert didn't really participate in the fight too much.
He tried.
He did. I like how Buck was like drinking a beer during the fight at one point. Like he punched somebody and just took a sip of beer. I'm like, this guy, this is why I was, is like he's gonna be a hard one, like to kill. I'm like, his liver's pickled already. He's running on pure alcohol power as it is. Like, you're gonna have to do a lot to kill this guy. So Simon? Simon is, you see him and he's got one of the guys, he's kind of beating on him, and you see Buford, who has been knocked around, and he fucking pulls out his knife, and they make a point to show the knife and what type of like pocket knife it is.
Mhm.
And he gets right behind Simon, and she's like, that's about a fucking enough. and you turn around and hear Star with a double barrel pointed at the back of Buford's head. And this is where it ends. And our Hilljacks, they take their leave and said, "This isn't over." So
this isn't over, bitch.
Yeah, this isn't over, bitch. So they leave, and then she says, "Who's gonna buy?" Would she say, "Who's gonna buy me a beer?"
No,
or
who's gonna
something?
buy me another? Or who's gonna buy me a beer? And I was like,
Yeah.
again? You guys are still drinking?
Who's gonna
Like,
buy me a
Jesus.
shot? And they're all like, "Yeah."
Like, well, you know, you've run off the assholes. You know, it's time to party. So they're still in the bar drinking, and still, and she goes to take, because there's two bartenders. They both Native American women, and the one they showed her at the very beginning, and she kind of like must have been the waitress too, because she was out, and they didn't really go back to her. Star was our main bartender, and she goes out back to like take the garbage out, and she's out there. She thinks she's drinking a beer out in the alley, and all of a sudden you see a blade, which is looks like the knife from earlier.
It's the same knife, the one that they showed for a reason.
Right across her throat, and all of a sudden she's being assaulted, and Egbert has went outside and he's pissing against the side of the Suburban, and he hears something, and he goes to investigate, and he sees and hears kind of a struggle, but it's Egbert, so he does absolutely nothing. Like nothing. And this is part of this comes into play later on. The benefit of hindsight looking back at the movie now. So he goes inside and they're all in there, and this scene kind of they flash back, and it kind of drags on. But much to the credit of the filmmakers, there was, for a rated R, they didn't really, it was all alluded to. There was no real anything that was shown.
Yeah, not like not like I Spit on Your Grave. Nothing like that.
Dude, that was the movie I was thinking of. I didn't say it, but it was I Spit on Your Grave. That scene that just was uncomfortable to fucking watch. Like, it was. Oh my god. Yeah. That scene it's very uncomfortable to watch. What up, Gap? Good to see you,
There's
brother.
a bad taste in your mouth. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. So it comes down to, you think it's just going to be the assault, and then all of a sudden the knife just up right into her fucking ear, and it's just like, holy shit! Like, that fucking escalated.
With
like
the worst blood effect they could do, honestly.
Yeah, I was like, why is it so bubbly?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, too thick. I'm like, that looks like
there's so much going on that like I can just surpass that, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
that
the
hard.
blood. Yeah, the blood effect.
Because they did a lot of things pretty good, like the CGI in this, and there was some other stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm like, the beginning portion of the gore, it's like, really, like that wasn't that great right there.
Let me tell you something. You know what I like about these movies, that like these Walmart horror movies, is you can fucking tell that they're Walmart horror movies.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I saw this one on the shelf, just like he bought the physical copy.
I literally made a joke when we started watching it of like the camera, and I'm like, I bet you this was all filmed on an iPhone.
There was a little bit more put into it than that, but like,
you never know.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely independent. But I'll give them credit for the creature effects with the fades. With that looked really good for the budget they were working with. So Star is dead. We go back into the bar, and God knows how long she's been gone. They're still drinking. Egbert comes back in. He didn't say anything.
Doesn't say a fucking word.
Didn't say a fucking word. Now Star has given Oh, go ahead, Trina. Go ahead.
When he does that knife thing to her, that cool thing happens with the ground.
Yes. When the blood hit the ground, it kind of like vibrates. You see like the vibration, and it like kind of does it like absorb it in, like kind of like
I think it was her grandmother's necklace. Was like torn off.
Yes.
And then that like starts to make everything rise.
Yeah.
And it looks like little spirits are starting to kind of come out of there.
Yep. And because when they were like when they first got in the bar, she was talking about and like respect the spirit or something like that. and it has to do with like that Native American belief, about how to, basically hunt humanely and all that stuff.
Yep.
And so that was definitely, you can tell that's where they were going with it.
Well, that's like it is. And she said, it's like, don't kill what you're not going, basically don't kill what you're not going to eat.
Yeah.
Respect the fucking land.
Yeah.
And, and what the third one was like a gimmick. It was like a joke, but I think it wasn't it? Was like a joke about buy me a beer or some shit, or tip your bartender.
Tip your fucking bartender.
Tip your fucking bartender. So the first two, though, honestly, those are just basic rules of hunting in wilderness. And they taught my son that in Cub Scouts. It's, you have the tenets of nature. And it is. It's very big with the Native American. And I've studied some Native American culture when I was in college because I went to my CC was by university, and there's a huge Native American population there because there is an Indian casino and there is an Indian res there. So it's Michigan was huge with fucking Native American tribes. I mean, it's everywhere. The influence is everywhere. So I absolutely understand that. And that all plays into this fucking movie, which is, it's really cool, especially when you look at the way the characters are dispatched, based on the things that they've done. So they get to the cabin, and of course we start a fire, and what do? We got to drink some more. Holy fucking shit. I have no idea because where they are, I'll say this, from where I used to live in Big Rapids to drive to Detroit was like 4 hours. So they've driven for around 4 hours, which I can drive to Chicago basically in that from there, so from where I used to live. So like they've driven that far. They've been drinking all fucking, it's like, holy shit, this is the 80s. That was very 80s feeling, but, and they're still fucking partying. And you get, I love Wes. They burn the picture of his ex-girlfriend.
I know. He's like all sad about it over the campfire. They take the picture and throw it in the fire.
Fucking throw it in the fire.
Get over it.
Here's something funny. I don't know if you picked up on or not, but Simon playing Simon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I forgot to mention that. He's playing the Simon thing. I brought that up to my wife. Like, check it out. Simon's got a Simon.
Yeah.
I was like, Trina will remember that show. Remember Simon and Simon?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's funny because I didn't even know that they made like a little version of the Simon back then like that. Because I actually have like the actual like old like big one. Of
course you
like
do.
the one that they used in like the Paranormal Activity movie that was haunted.
Yes.
I have that exact same one at home.
Awesome.
I found it in my attic too, and I was like, this is Paranormal Activity right here.
That's awesome. But yeah. Simon playing Simon Says, that was cool.
Yeah, and we get some more of totally dialogue that people would have with each other here as they continually just bag on fucking Egbert and just rip on each other and drink, and I think then they go in and pass out, and we're gonna go hunting at some point. We go hunting in the morning, and the loudest fucking hunter, holy shit.
The scene where they're like, it's time to party, and then it cuts out real quick to them sleeping. That was
funny.
I saw that when I was coming around the corner. I was like, did I miss something?
Did I miss something? No.
It's time to party.
It's time to party.
Yep.
I like that. I'm gonna steal that for my own because that was just funny.
So they're going out hunting, and they split off in pairs, and you got Carlos and Simon, JB and Wes, and Buck and Egbert, which is totally the pair that is the comic relief. And I love when they come to that tree and they're walking across the fucking river, and Egbert's like,
but he got across.
The big fat guy walked across it.
Yeah.
Over here. Like your mom tells you, you better get your motherfucking ass in the house. I swear to God.
That reminds me how I talk to my kid when he's in trouble.
They decide they're not going to use any more voices because they're going on the hunt. And So how did Wes make it across the river without like destroying any moss on the log or anything like that? But Egbert is like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It just. Oh god.
No, he was like, don't say a word, and he was like, why? And he was like, I just
What the fuck did I just say?
I told you. Yeah. Yeah.
He was like,
that was
signals, and he was like,
He starts silently snapping the sticks. He's like,
yeah, he's just throwing them at him. The one almost knocks him over. They're making fun of his gun. He's like, I got a 410. What do you say, a 410? And they're like, oh, you got a pop gun.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
yeah, where they're like talking, like saying all the names of the weapons, and he was like, said whatever the shotgun was, went to go like try to load it, and it just didn't work.
Oh,
yes, he
God.
couldn't
Of
even
course it
cock his own
didn't.
gun.
Yep. Oh yeah, there was that beautiful scene where and this is great, where they made him chew for the first time, which and I've again, I've seen that. I've seen the guys that they put it in for the first time, and it's like within 5 minutes they turn green and just vomit everywhere. And yep, so I'm like, that's pretty fucking accurate. That's pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm.
I was never a dipper myself. I was always cigarettes, so whenever I saw someone dip, it's just
I couldn't tell you how many times my coworkers at work were always like, you want some? I would go, no.
I also have PTSD from as a kid when my uncles would come over and you'd accidentally pick up their can of Coke, and you're like, that's dip.
The dip spit.
I've seen somebody drink out of a spitter and on
Oh
accident.
god.
Yep, and you're always just like, oh, I'm gonna let this happen. I'm just and then just
it's like that thing where it's like, I'm not gonna let anyone know that I just drank puke.
Yeah.
Dude, this conversation is making me want to. I need to massage my throat like Egbert.
It's like in the
Calm down my
show
gag
where the dude's like,
reflex.
what are you up to? And throws up in the cup and just holds it the whole time.
I need to go away now.
And you need to go away now.
Okay. So we're back in the woods, and Carlos and Simon, which they're like, okay, of course we got the black and the Mexican guy together, and Carlos is like, Simon's trying to talk to him. Carlos is like, I hunt alone. He just fucking walks away. Just like, okay, So
good luck.
Good luck, yeah. When he thank you, Gap, for posting Tyler's link, brother. Thank you, appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
And I thought when Simon split off, I'm like, he's gonna die.
Yep.
He's gonna fucking die.
I put my pizza down when I was eating it, and I was like, all right, when's he gonna die? I don't want to choke on my food.
Because they had a couple like Evil Dead like low tracking shots, like leading up to him, and Wes and JB, they're talking, and of course they're drinking beer, which
pocket beer. Because I was like, where the fuck did he get that beer? Because he was just like, hey, have one. I was like,
yep.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's it was like Dale Gribble with pocket sand. Yeah. Except for it was a pocket beer. Pocket beer. But no, so they're drinking beer, and so I like what is it? Wes sees a deer at one point, and he just he sees a deer, and he doesn't do anything, and he kind of spooks it away. It was a beautiful buck, but he doesn't shoot it. He doesn't do anything, which, okay. So they're out there for a little while, and I love the scene where.
Wait, I think the buck got scared because of the
horn.
The horn, yeah.
The horn. That's right. We hear the horn. We hear the horn beeping, and everybody is like, "Oh, what the fuck," And Egbert
is trying, but
he's shimmying. He's on his belly. And Buck's like, oh, what the fuck? And he just goes running across her. He's like, hey. He's just like still trying to shimmy across this fucking log. So they all take off running back to the cabin. And the sheriff, Sheriff Paulson, shows up. And they're like, what? I love it. Carlos is like, I'm going to kill whoever. And the fucking sheriff goes, he puts his hand on his gun. He's like, whoa. And he's like,
lower
okay.
that.
Yeah. So he's kind of dressed him down, and it's typical like law. This was like the law enforcement thing. It was like, okay, is he gonna go like full on like 80s cop? because beforehand we've had the scenes where they found the body and you see the deputy. You've got the deputy and the sheriff sheriff's like, you handle. It was like basically handle the logistics. I'm gonna go and do the field work, and I'm gonna go try to stop another, because they've gone. The opening credits of this, which I didn't mention, detail all these disappearances and all these other these Native American girls, hunters, and disembodiments and things like that. And he showed the deputy all these other cases, and he's like, this basically, one of these girls dies, it leads to it was hikers, hunters getting fucking brutally murdered, because I'm gonna try to stop this from happening.
Yeah, he's like, every time a girl gets murdered, all these like people get slain.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm about to go. It's like, I think he said, I'm about to go stop another
bear attack.
A bear attack.
Yeah. Bear attack. Yep. Yeah, because he showed him and it said unidentified, like, or bear what attack. Was. Yeah, and then it says bear attack. That's crossed out. It says bear attack underneath it. So we're at the cabin and he's talking to him, and he tells them that there was a murder. The bartender was dead. And I love Wes is like, he's just devastated. Wes is fucking.
The woman that he saw for maybe 3 hours, and his fucking heart is just
Leon's
torn.
Broken.
Leon is, he lost Ada Wong.
He lost Ada.
Yeah.
No, Ada Wong. And if you've seen the Resident Evil streams, you've seen my Ada Wong impressions. So there you go. I didn't bring my Raiden hat down tonight. Which is actually from China, but my wife went there a long time. Anyway, so Ada Wong is not in this movie, but Leon is. And he's devastated by the death of Star. And they're all kind of like, what the fuck? And nobody, it's like, what the hell? Now, they have their other deer hanging here on the pole at this point, the one that they hit with the Suburban that JB hit. So Sheriff's talking to him, and he says, a lot of folks come up here and they take more than just what they hunt from this land or whatever, and kind of alluding, it's like, why don't you check with those the other assholes? And like, well, he said the same thing about you. So yeah, and I think he's looking at wasn't he looking at one of their knives? It was like Carlos's knife.
Yeah,
it was Carlos's knife, because obviously it's the same blade that we saw.
Yep.
So he's looking at that, and he takes off and leaves. He takes off, he leaves. So they're shook, because ain't no such things as halfway crooks. And this is we get they go out and they're going to do some skeet shooting. At this point, I think this is where they do the skeet shooting
part, where he was like,
Wesley. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that, because Star had given them directions on how to get to the cabin, because they weren't exactly sure. She gave him directions, and Wes left his name and everything, and kind of just thank you on the napkin at the bar. And he gave it to the
directions. It will help me find my way back to you.
Yes, and that's what he was. Were you gonna go? Were you gonna go back to her? And at this point,
back to her. He was like, "Yeah, I was.
Like, I was going to, but." I got drunk.
I was waiting for, I'm like, okay, so just say, hey, look, we kind of connected. Nothing happened. So I left her that note, and I said, hey, we'll probably, alluding to, we'll come back to the bar, and I will see you at the bar again. But of course, horror movie is not going to take the time to, or have the foresight to explain that. So we're left with that thread of the doubt in the law enforcement's mind about him. So he leaves, and then we go do the skeet shooting, and fucking Simon almost causes Buck to lose a hand.
Yep. Throw it, Buck.
Buck's throwing the hand off. Yeah, Buck the clay pigeons. And Simon shoots like right away.
He's only mad because that's his jerking off hand. Oh, and the fucking great comeback.
I'm ambidextrous.
Smell my dick, so you remember what pussy smells.
Oh yeah, and then he's like, "Well, I don't have to do that. I remember what your sister's hoo-ha smells like."
Yep. Oh God, yes. Back to JB's sister again, which is and again, I had my friends that made remarks about one of my sisters, and I clocked one upside the head for it a couple times because he didn't learn the first time. Mm-hmm. So that gets a little bit frustrating. So I can understand.
I had a friend offer me to do that. Remember Chase?
Mm-hmm.
He told me, he was like, yeah, I said shit about your sister, and then I flirted with your sister, but it was only just to spite you. He took his glasses off. He says, you can punch me in the face one time. I was the bigger man, but now I look back, I'm like, fuck, I should have broke his fucking nose.
Oh, dude, I ran across the living room and like Goldberg speared this dude into. He was sitting in a fucking chair and just dropped the whole fucking chair and just got it like that and just fucking laid one on him. Oh yeah, I like lawn darted myself. You never saw that shit coming. It was fucking hilarious. You should have seen the other 4 or 5 people in the room. They were just like,
good for
That
you.
was really cool.
You go run and jump off
Your
the table like
sister's
you're
lucky
wrestling.
to have you.
I literally acted like nothing happened. Just literally got over, grabbed a drink, went outside and smoked. I'm just like, okay, we're done here. Like, you fucking learned your lesson. Like, that was it.
You gotta dust off the old knuckles. Just
If it was my middle sister, I wouldn't have cared because she's a communist. But the younger one, I'm like, no, I was very protective of her. So that was it. But so yeah, they're out. And then of course, I don't think Wes even does he. I don't even think Wes shoots.
no,
No.
he doesn't shoot.
No,
But
Buck throws it, and then Wes says, "I saw something." When he's like
Yeah.
yards away, I saw something
out in the woods,
Yeah.
I saw something in the woods, and so then at this point, Buck shoots a fucking crow.
Yep.
And I love the line when he's like, "Who the fuck's gonna eat crow?"
I know.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, that's gonna come back and bite you in the ass. Oh no. So it's like and they've spilled beer cans all over the field where they are, and they just leave. They leave them, and which is a no. And they've killed a fucking animal that they had. It wasn't Counting Crow. What's that guy's name from Counting Crows? Jonathan. I can't think of his name, but
I
yeah,
can't remember.
I just knew his name was Jonathan something. I was never a Counting Crows fan. Not at all. Anyway, I was a Blues Traveler guy. Anyway, it's something about the harmonica. Maybe it was my time in jail. I don't know. But they go back and they've left a mess. They've killed something, and you get the effect again after that. And is it when they go back that? No, they go hunting again.
They go hunting. Yep.
They go hunting again, and this is where Carlos kills a. Now this scene, the way it was shot and the yell, because you get a yell and everybody's like running to it, and you see the knife going like up and striking.
Very much like Scream with Casey Becker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was really cool, and I think it's Simon. Yeah, it's Simon that gets there, and Carlos is like got the heart in his hand, and he's like, "You fucking sick." He called him like a sick fuck or something like that.
Yeah.
How about doe?
Yeah.
Yep.
We freaking killed a doe. Like what
doe.
the fuck?
Again, that's a no. That's a no. I've okay. Now this is the thing. You can shoot a doe. All right. You can shoot does. They have doe tags, but they didn't have doe tags. I've never shot one. I've passed them up because I'm like, there's fucking Bambi out there. If I'm gonna kill something, I want to have horns and I want it to be big. I don't shoot anything small, which is probably why I've never shot anything. But then, like I said, I've pulled up on does and I'm just like, nope, not gonna do it. So yeah, that's a fucking no in the world of this movie. So Carlos is like, I don't fucking care, because they're going back and they're toasting it. And he's like, well, we gotta eat the heart, because that was the thing. It's a ritual, which that again, that's
first kill.
It's either you eat, the Native American thing is you eat the heart. I know, and I don't partake in this because it's fucking disgusting. But people drink the blood, some of the blood of the deer, and that's having gutted deer before. That's fucking disgusting. No, I've skinned, gutted, cleaned, hang, quartered them. No, that's
that seems
gross.
Satanic. It's like. It seems, I don't know, like wicked.
Almost like a ritual. It's
like some
sacrifice
kind of
of it all.
Yeah, exactly.
But the heart thing isn't. It's the Native American thing though. But that's kind of them paying reverence.
Yeah,
to
that's one thing.
But drinking the blood, yeah, that's another thing altogether.
Yeah, that seems wrong.
Stop watching Red Dawn. Wolverines. So they're eating the heart and they're trying to get Egbert to eat it, and all of a sudden I think it's JB starts to get sick, and they look down, and I was like, it's maggots, Michael.
Yes. They're only noodles.
Yeah, but so fucking Buck, when he threw it up, it almost looked like fucking 3D. And I fucking turned away. I was like, get away from me. And you're like, nope.
Not today.
Yeah, fucking everyone's just vomiting because it's maggots.
It was a scene from Family Guy. Who wants chowder? We got 10 cases of Epicac. All right. Who's gonna have some of that pie from the bake sale? That was really good. I ate a piece myself last night. But so they vomited, and they're very confused as to why this, because it wasn't like that before. And they have the interference with the radio too. I think that's at this point we get that, isn't it?
Yeah,
because like the radio like glitched and they had that really loud fucking screech, and they kind of lost everything there for a second, and then he went over to fuck with it and it just went back to normal.
He was like, he sold me a lemon.
I didn't catch the reference of it, but he said, you sold me a lemon. I was like, Tyler, what does that mean?
It's a piece of junk.
Okay. See, I don't get this shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe there's someone who on the panel didn't know what a lemon was. That's funny.
Yep.
We're old. We're old.
We are old. I was in the car business. I know all about lemons.
Yeah. Well, I know all about lemons from having lemons.
Yeah. So let's see. Wait, do they go in at this point? Yeah, I think they went in. I think they went into the cabin.
Yep.
They go in. Oh, is this is where they're in there and they're all sleeping and the Simon starts. Doesn't that start fucking playing by itself in the living room because they're all sleeping? And I'm trying to think, is it Wes that hears it? Because he's like, Simon, turn the thing off.
Turn that fucking thing off.
And he looks up and Simon's fucking fast asleep. So he goes down there and I think he sees something. I'm trying to remember.
Well,
exactly
he goes down.
happened.
He wakes up because like the temperature is starting to go down. I think in the place.
Yes.
Yeah.
They show the thermostat dropping.
Yeah, and then he goes to put the wood inside of the fire, and then a hand grabs him.
Yeah. So they had the fucking hand, and that freaks him out. So everybody's awake at this point, and it's just it was like, okay, so it was. The super, like my wife was confused. She goes, okay, so is this like a slasher or supernatural? I'm like, oh, this is supernatural. I'm like, you've had all this. Yeah, that's, let's see, I'm trying to think. So do they go outside and then Carlos sees his deer's gone? Or is that the next morning? It's in the morning. Because the morning they go out and one of the deer was gone. And that's why they go out in the woods because they think them guys are fucking with it.
I think the first thing that was missing was the bear trap was missing.
Bear trap. The bear trap was gone off the mantle.
The bear trap was like, that thing's worth $200.
Yeah. And then
the bear trap is worth that much, but that's just me. I'm not a hunter.
I don't know the going rate for bear traps.
I do not specialize in that. Okay.
This isn't Resident Evil.
Not my wheelhouse. The bear traps. So the deer's gone, and they think the Buford and the boys are there's chicanery. There's tomfoolery afoot, which there is, but it's not Buford and the boys. So they get all their guns, and they're gonna go hunt these guys down.
Yeah.
Egbert, of course, get the fucking ammo. And
Wait,
JB, wait. What am I?
Didn't we miss the part with Egbert getting the tick?
Oh my God!
Well, actually, I think we're a little bit. I think we're actually getting a little too ahead because there was the one scene where all that weird stuff started happening, and then they go back out to like actually hunt again, and then that's when he's recording it and he sees the thing in the woods
Fuck,
on
that's
the
right.
camera.
God damn it!
Yep. They saw. Okay, so they got it on camera, and it was like kind of hunched down. And when it turned around, it freaked them out, and they took off running.
Yeah.
And because Egbert kind of was like, ah, and he like kind of freaked out. And when they got back to the cabin, he's like, something's crawl. I felt it crawl on me. And
well, I think that was also when they realized too of the deer missing too when they got back.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the
I
deer's
think so,
missing when
yeah.
they get back. Yes. I'm sorry. So the deer's missing when they get back, and but Egbert's freaking out because he felt something crawl on him, and they've got to.
That was when they went back to sleep that night, and he woke everyone up because he was like, "Ah, it's on me! It's on me! Get it off!"
Yep.
And
what the fuck is wrong with you?
If you the logo of the movie has a tick,
A tick on the
86.
Yeah.
And okay, so deer ticks and ticks in general in Michigan were not prevalent in the 80s. Like I grew up in the 80s. I played in the woods in like tall grass. Like now, if you do that, you'll have 50 of them on you. Like back then, it was so fucking rare. And I remember one of my cousins actually got like Lyme disease from a tick and in the 80s. And it was so fucking rare that she had to go out of state for treatment at one point. And but now it's like, so I'm like, this was like, it was like, damn, that's like, it's like $1 million to 1 shot, you know? So he's got a tick buried in his fucking nutsack. Like, just burrow. And a very close up shot of the wrinkled coin purse and the tick just burrowing his way in. Oh God. And Carlos is like, what did he say? It looked like it was so fucking funny. I wish I would have written it down. The descriptor he used.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Well, I heard it was like, I think we found Bigfoot.
Yeah.
God damn, I fucking forget. But it was so good. I was like, my God. Also, I don't know how it was in the 80s, but these guys are just all up in this dude's
Yeah, I know, right?
junk.
They lay him down and it's like, you got to strip. And he's like, what?
Yeah,
No,
he's like in the
strip.
pregnant position.
Yeah.
On the table.
And they're like,
everyone's just
whoa. They're like, they say some jokes and I can't remember what they say, but yeah, it was the Bigfoot one and they said something else. And it's like, you're going to have to lift up your scrotum there.
lift up your shaft so we can get a look at your cock bag.
Yeah.
Yep. And
I've never told any of my homies.
And he was like, we found it. And he was like, what is it? He was like, it's a deer tick.
It's a fucking deer tick.
What is that? Going to be okay? He was like,
aren't those things riddled with disease?
He was like, yeah, your disease is whining or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So Carlos is gonna dig it out with the knife.
Which
and
fuck that. I don't care if I have a fucking deer tick in my balls. If you put a knife near my jewels, I'm gonna cry.
You already technically have had that.
Oh, vasectomy. Shit. Okay. Well, I digress.
See, my wife said, you don't have to do that. I said, good, because the world might need me someday. I might build an army. We got 250,000 at the ready and 1 million more well on the way. Somebody's got to keep up with somebody's got to keep up with the Chinese. I've been building a small army in Wakanda. Don't ask how. We have our ways. We went over the teleportation device last night.
We have the technology.
Solar Warden. They should have been playing Tainted Love in the background. You could have worked. What year did Soft Cell release Tainted Love? It was that. Let's see. Soft Cell Tainted Love. Let's see. 1981. Yep, they could have used it. They should have used Soft Cell at that point. It would have been fantastic because they did use some licensed music in this.
Yeah. Just a little, but like you still caught it.
Yep. So they get the tick out of his balls,
And
and he's just walking around with his underwear on at this point, which.
Because
because they heard after that happened, they heard like a sound or something, and they went outside and they were looking around. And
Egbert went outside with just his his tidy whities on.
Was that the part where when they were getting rid of the tick is when the generator died? And so they went outside.
Yeah, because it was like, I need light, and then they turned the generator on, and then once the tick was out, fucking generator was out.
Yeah.
Yep. So then they went outside. The deer were gone, and they've got the thing on camera. Is that when because they've already got it? Do they have it? I'm trying to think if they had it on camera at this point.
Fuck, I'm getting it mixed up.
They had it. They already had it on camera, but they heard the sound because they went outside to go look around to see what the sound was, because the ground I think started rattling again or something. And then I think that was when, I don't think it was when all the crows fly, but I know they went outside. The power went out on the generator, and the dude was like, "You go fix it." And he was like, "You two are the electricians.
You guys are the fucking electricians."
And he was like, "Did you put gas in it?"
No, it's not an electrical problem, dick.
Did you put gas in it?
So did you? Okay, so did you guys already cover Simon trying to leave, and Wes is discouraging him from leaving?
No, that's the same part.
That's the same part.
Yeah.
No, we just discussed the tick.
We just talked about the tick on the balls.
Okay.
And that's and that they look in the
I'm
camera.
so surprised she didn't say, "Oh, I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to talk about it."
No, that's okay. I think you guys did a good job.
You covered the ball sack tick well enough.
Did you get squeamish when they were going at it with a knife?
I got PTSD. Because I was awake for that, sir. Like, what are you guys gonna do?
I've never had a vasectomy, and I won't. But I was going like, "Oh, this is the worst thing in this movie." Just like moving around, going like, "Please don't, please don't, please don't do that."
That knife might as well have been a fucking starring character because it was everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like,
let me see. Wait,
again.
Actually in the cast we have Buck Knife list. No, but yeah, it's like every scene in the movie. This is not the same one, but it's like everything is like, there's got to be a hunt. I see it's like you're from Michigan. Everybody's got a hunt knife within reach in Michigan. That's
wait a minute. I just remembered that part actually when they went outside. That was the part where all the weird stuff started happening, and then that's when they went out to the woods and then got it recorded on camera.
Yep.
Went back. Then they were watching it, and that's when Simon looked up and he was like. Walked in there and he was like, "I'm leaving."
Who's gonna drive me out of here?
Who's gonna drive me out of here?
It's my truck.
It's my truck. Probably doesn't start.
And that's when Carlos went off and was like, "I'll fucking I'll fucking kill you" or something like that.
He's like,
if you get in the truck, I will stab you in the kneecap.
Yeah,
I'll stab you in the kneecap.
And Carlos wasn't letting him leave because he was like, "I went to war for your freedom to hunt and stuff," and then that's when Wes has a change of heart and is like, "Okay, let's get hunting." And then they all cock their guns, and then someone, I think it was Buck, said, "Now that sounds like hunting," or something like that.
Now it's hunting.
Yes, something like that. That's a good scene.
So that's when he told Egbert to go get the ammunition.
Why am I gonna carry it? Because you're our bitch.
Yeah,
you're a bitch. Yeah,
you are our ammo, bitch.
Finally stopped in a
and this is the one time I think they don't split up because of what the fuck they saw on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I don't. Unintentional comedy.
Yeah, like I think they tried to do a little bit of a horror comedy, but the comedy needed work, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie was like driven by, this is my opinion, but Egbert and Buck were fucking pushing this train, especially with all the clips and everything.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Every other character was just there. The most forgettable one was
I liked Carlos. Carlos was the unhinged one.
Yep.
Yeah.
To fucking do this, man. I fought for your right to hunt.
They should have given him more PTSD.
Yeah.
No, really, like, because I feel like that would have been more authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time he
So-
picks up a gun, he starts shaking. He's like,
Yeah,
Well, he kept talking about being in Lebanon. So that was August 1982 when the governments of the United States, France, Italy, and Great Britain deployed the multinational peacekeeping force to Lebanon to stabilize the country and stop the fighting between Syria, the PLO, the Palestine Liberation Organization, and Israel. What a
PLO.
surprise.
Yep.
The PLO and Israel were fighting.
Also, don't forget he showed the scar
Yeah, the
from
scar,
collar to collar.
collar to collar.
Collar to collar,
Which
yeah.
I don't get what that
Some
was.
hummus eater.
Yeah, he said hummus eater. I was
Yeah.
like, wouldn't it have been more effective if he went just a little higher? Just because I don't know what the scar was for. I didn't catch what that was about.
I
Some
think-
hummus eater. So he's talking about either one of the PLO or one of the Syrians trying to fucking slit his throat. And they fucking missed, basically. That's what they were calling them hummus eaters. I'm like, there's a lot of other epithets that they could have went with. But I'm like, they took the high road. They took the very high road there.
Yeah, they went very PC on that one because that's not what they were called.
No. We won't say those here, but if you join on Patreon, you can hear all the fun racial epithets on Patreon. That's patreon.com/wrestlingwithhorror420 for all your movie commentary, pro wrestling, other fun stuff, the Andy Sedaris movies, and racial epithet videos. Not just kidding. Just kidding. But there's a lot of fun content. Go check that out. So they're going in the woods now. They're going to hunt this thing down. They've seen it, except for Simon, he's taken off.
Yep.
He's taken off.
Yep.
He pieced out.
I was like, when he was gone, I was like, I completely forgot that he was gone at that point. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
we're one person short, and I don't know who was missing.
Well,
Yep.
technically,
I know.
Simon was still there, just in game form.
Yeah, he was. And that's when he walked away, I'm like, okay, is this when the black guy dies? I was like, he's just walking off. He's got his bag and his rifle. His rifle is in the carrying case. He doesn't even have it at the ready. I'm like, okay. And he's like, that's when I'm going back to Detroit where it's safe. And that's where like you're doing the Leo meme. And you're like, oh, he did the thing. He said the thing. He said the thing.
Was Detroit safe in 1986?
No, Jesus Christ, no. I would have rather dealt with a fucking skinwalker than what was going on in Detroit in 86. Get the fuck out of here. That's crazy. Oh my God.
Apparently it was safe.
The thing
Being
that
from
Leon said,
from
bingo.
Detroit, I was like, oh, he's from the suburbs.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Like Simon is from the suburbs then, if it was safe in 86, because now. So he's gone and they are they're out in the woods, and doesn't Egbert, he's like standing there and all of a sudden
No. First he's carrying the ammo,
And
and
yeah,
then
he runs up. He's like, I got the ammo.
and he gives it
was
to
like,
Buck, and Buck says, I got the fucking rifle. You're carrying the ammo.
Yeah, he's like, throws it down. He's like, no, you carry it.
No, you carry it. And then Buck's like, he's like, oh, look, he's got some balls. And then he just fucking
Goes off.
lets it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Egbert finally fucking snaps, and they're like, all right, like you fucking
Yeah,
stood up for himself.
I was expecting a fight to break out, but especially since he punched Buck in the
Yeah,
face.
he punched Buck in the face.
And then he just started clapping.
Yep.
I was like, what is happening right now?
He was like, they were like, good for you, dude. It's like, he's just been giving me a hard time all week, guys. He's like, hey, man, sometimes you just got to push the shit back
in our assholes.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you gotta push it back up there.
Yeah.
Don't take our shit. Push it right back in
Push
there.
it right back.
I was like, I've never heard that before, but all right.
I'm like, all right, that's cool.
It reminded me of prison movies, like, you have your shit pushed in. Don't say yes to that. Don't say yes to that. Don't say yes to that. If you do, that means you don't make any. Never mind. So Buck or not Buck, but Egbert was like, "Hey, the other night at the bar,
Finally,
outside,
he's going to say something about what he saw.
Yep." And all of a sudden, he gets a like a snare trap around his feet, and he is just drugged
He
away.
falls. They all just go
They look at him
overhead
like,
and then taken away.
It looked like the NWA Straight Outta Compton album cover, because they're all standing over him looking down. And he's gone. He's like drugged through, and they like go down this ravine, and they can't find him, but they follow like some tracks, and they happen. He's like hung up, like
in like
all
like a circular, like kind of like symbol or something. It's like made of like it's almost like if like the Blair Witch symbol.
That's exactly what I thought of.
Yep. And they slowly make their way around him, and he is just they're like he's dead. He's disemboweled, and which is like no guts. No guts. He had no guts. He didn't do anything or say anything when Star was getting murdered. So yeah, he's gutless.
I just caught that. Shit. Okay.
And his tongue.
Yeah.
Remember his tongue?
Yep.
Yeah,
which was
really, very symbolic.
It was very fucking cool. Yeah, and what movie, Trina, were we talking about? We did where like it was the kills were they were the same way. They were all like very symbolic of different. It was like I can't remember what movie it was. Was it? It wasn't Abigail, was it? I can't remember.
No,
it wasn't
Abigail. One. I want to say In a Violent Nature.
It was In a Violent Nature. It was. Yep, it was In a Violent Nature.
Okay, because the ending of this movie reminded me of In a Violent Nature in a way.
Yeah, it did. Wow, it really did. So they holy shit.
Well, they also said they blamed bear attacks on this, just like they did with Johnny.
Yeah.
What killed them? It was a bear.
It was a bear. Yep.
And don't ask me if it was actually a bear. I said, shut the fuck up. It was a bear.
Yeah.
Johnny isn't real.
Yeah.
So Egbert's dead. So he's they go back to the cabin at this point.
Well, don't forget that Egbert's fucking corpse farts.
And then
and
he
he
yeah.
And
yes, he probably took that shit.
Finally took that shit. And then these dumbasses hear some scary noise, and they start firing blankly just at nothing, just bullets after bullets. I'm like, oh, you dumb shits.
Yeah, after they ran away, leaving the ammo.
Exactly, that too.
Again, in that scene right there, that I swear to God, that is the scene in Predator where they're just shooting into the trees. That was Predator to a lesser extent with just hunting rifles. I was like, oh my God.
It's like all the cops and military people in Hatchet shooting at the cabin, and they don't hit them once.
Oh, yep.
I still haven't watched the Hatchet movies. I've got them all.
I got them caught up on them.
Yeah, I watched them all. You should watch them.
Okay.
Yes. We have to review those.
We're going to.
We did that on my channel, but I want to do it again. I love those movies.
Okay. Excellent. That's why I love Kane Hodder too. So that's and speaking of movie reviews, after we're done here live tonight, we will be recording for Patreon Terrifier 2, a full commentary. So yeah, I'm going to
you guys have fun with that.
Trina's like, nope. Yeah, so we're gonna do that for Patreon. That'll be up tomorrow for you guys over there on the Brainbuster tier. So they are fucking spooked to fuck. They're back at the cabin now, and they run
to the truck.
They run to the truck, well, that doesn't go well because
they had a Christine moment happen.
Yeah, I was like,
is
this truck about to just?
Yeah, no,
that's what I thought. I was like, which one is the truck gonna run over?
Yeah.
I figured it would be JB because he hit the fucking deer with it at the beginning. But no, the truck starts and it gets pulled backwards and flipped on its side and thrown into another ravine, and it blows up 3 times.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, that's the one angle we're going to get? Okay. And then it did 3 different ones. I was like, okay, we're doing that. But that's when you can tell it's like, that's not really good CGI.
That's not good CGI.
Now the truck rolling like down that area, I was like, fuck, that looks great. And then it went boom, and I was like, oh, it looks like PS2 fire.
Yep. Yeah. The
you
fire
wanted the
there.
Xbox 360 fire, but all you got was a PS2.
Oh,
PS1 fire.
Oh my god, pixelated fire.
It's like the fire effects on the wrestling games on my N64. We can pull that up real quick. So yeah, they're
truck's gone. They're fucked.
Yeah, truck's gone.
Yep. So
and then
you've got Oh, go ahead, Trina.
And
Go ahead.
yep, and then so after that truck thing happened, then the creature like goes at them, throws a tomahawk, but it goes into the post of that's holding up one of the cabin posts.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
so the creature is finally presented itself.
Yes, yeah,
Comes
we
through
finally.
the fire.
Yep.
Carlos gets shot with the fucking arrow too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carlos, the fucking like I
he
said, the
gets shot.
alpha, and he just goes,
Yeah, he looks at it, and then
"What
just
the
runs
fuck?"
inside.
Bro? It's more so that
Yeah.
he was like,
He's just more
Bro.
pissed about it than anything.
yeah.
Yep.
And then he gets inside, and then you start,
Yeah, and he's like, ah. He's like, ah.
Rip it out. I can't. The broadhead will rip every, which is true. If you've ever seen a broadhead arrow, that would have shredded every muscle and tendon on the way out. Which
so
is
he was
what
smart to say, just fucking push
it
the rest of
through.
it through.
Yep,
Mhm.
push it through. And JB is of course filming it. And
Yeah,
you see-
because why not?
why not? The back of his shirt, you see it like pushing out, and all of a sudden it's out, and Buck fucking snaps it off, and they pull it out,
Yep.
and and he's like, "Fuck, that ain't a broadhead. It looks like fucking stone."
Stone.
And
Yep.
that's what I said when he got shot with it, and he said it's a broadhead. I'm looking at the arrow and the feathers. I'm like, it's a fucking wooden arrow, like out of a recurve. Like that's not a composite arrow. That's not a bolt from a crossbow. That's not a broadhead. As soon as it hit him, and they showed the fucking shaft of the arrow, I'm like, it's a fucking, like that's a goddamn. Of course, knowing the value of hindsight, I'm like, it's like an Indian type arrow, which is what it would be. Yeah, and it was. They saw the head of it, and it's like a fucking Native American stone arrowhead, which I have a couple of those. It's pretty fucking cool. Which they're like, what the fuck? Yeah, and that's I like their idea to what is it? They're gonna try to electrocute it.
Yeah, because Carlos said that was something that he did in the war. Like they set a booby trap for them, and some guy got fried somehow.
Yeah.
I didn't catch all of it, but
Yeah,
sure,
so
I guess.
They cut the mattress and they take the framing,
springs.
the
Yep.
springs out of it, and they use that to build like a cage around them, and they got to hook it up to the generator to start the generator to electrocute this thing. So Buck has to run out, and he's like, "You're always talking about how fast you are," and I like that at one point he's like, "I'm not fast for a fat man. I'm fat for a fast man."
Yeah,
So
I thought that was when Buck was gonna get it when he was outside because
Yep.
it's typical, but
Yep.
fuck, I mean, it got me. I was like, oh shit, he didn't get got.
It was a falsie. It was a falsie in a wrestling match. Buck kicked out at 2. So he makes it back in. They got the cage set up and they hear it. It's on the fucking roof because you hear all the shit start happening.
Yep.
It's on the roof. And Carlos is talking. And I love it because it is behind him. And then hang on a second. Hang on. And then I got props. And then, Thanos snaps his fingers and it fucking just disappears. And you're like, oh shit, like Carlos didn't see it. And I think he's in the middle. I was knocking shit down. And he's in the middle of the sentence. And I think does he just fucking stop?
Yeah, he just stops because all you hear is
Yep.
Yep.
and
he turns around. He
tomahawk,
falls. It's in
the
the back of
tomahawk
his
is in his skull,
fucking head.
and then he's like turning around, and then he shoots, pushes himself to the ground, and then it goes through his head.
Yep.
Yep.
That was a great scene. That was cool. The effects were cool there. I was like, and him just laying there with that thing sticking out of his fucking face was great.
Yeah.
So
And that's when they
all-
noticed the necklace on the tomahawk that it's Star's necklace.
Because
Yep,
Wes
that's-
was like, "There's a necklace that Star was wearing."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then it materializes because it's just JB, Buck, and Wes in the thing, and it materializes, and he's trying to start it, starts it, and it fucking zaps it, and it goes away. The fucking door is open, so they're gonna make a run for it at this point.
Yep. Now we
Yeah.
go with my original plan: run.
And Buck. Let's see, how does Buck? I'm trying to think. I can't remember how did Buck get it?
Buck was running with them, and JB was behind him. And JB said, "Remember when you asked me my sister's name?"
Yep.
And he's like, Yeah, and it thinks it's Isabel or something. It's
Yep.
Isabel. It fucking knocks him down. And he said, "This is for like talking about my sister." And he's like, "You traitorous fuck."
Okay,
And
so right before that, so when they run out of the cabin, the creature, because we don't know what it is yet, ties up Carlos in a tree and takes his heart.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's obviously because of what he did to the doe.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and then that's when they start running, and JB punches Buck, and then he's like, "Yeah, my sister's name is Leslie, by the way," and then all that stuff.
Leslie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're fucking. So now, and Buck, he gets dragged away.
Yeah.
Doesn't he get? Yeah,
Always
he gets
holding
dragged.
on to that dip.
Yep. Yeah. The can and chew, and he gets pulled through the fucking ground.
Yep.
That was it. He gets pulled down into the fucking ground. The can of dip in his hand is the last thing you see. And now you've got Wes and JB. And I'm trying to, let's see, they're running, because JB still has a gun at this point. Doesn't he still have a gun? And they go, no.
Shit.
I think he does.
He's got a rifle.
Yeah.
He's got like that lever action.
Yeah.
Oh, 30-30.
Yeah, it's a 30-30. Yep, that's right. So they go and they make it like, because I think you see you see it behind them at one point, because they make it to the fucking lake. They make it to that boat. They go across the fucking lake.
They start going.
And, yep.
And then the creature does a Jason. You know.
Yep.
One
Under the water.
One cool thing about when the creature, the spirit thing kills Buck is when it's standing over Buck, you see the crow feathers come down, and that you hear the crows.
Yep.
That was awesome. I loved that.
Oh yeah, the creature was like dropping like crow feathers. He's like, "What the fuck is that?" Personally,
Yeah.
I think he should have just been like torn bit by bit by crows. I think that would have been cooler.
Yes.
But budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the dude and I spit in your grave with the fish and the
Yep.
being tied to the tree. Yeah. But so they're out in the middle of the lake, and Jason comes up out of the lake and pulls Wes out of the boat while it's on fire, and he's trying to put oh wait, no, wrong movie. So Wes gets pulled out of the fucking boat, and when that happened, I looked at Wes, I was like, "God damn, like Wes, really?" Like,
yeah,
like I was like, "God, I was like, JP's a dick too," like, but you don't know everything about the extent of JB yet. So we get over to the other side.
JB fucking paddles. He that fucking thing is going.
Yep.
And then that's when he hits land, and he takes the longest breather I've ever seen.
I'm like, do you fucking realize that motherfucker travels at like the speed of light, bro? Like, you ain't got time to catch your breath. Yeah. So he's laying there, and he takes off running, and doesn't he he hits the fucking gimmick. He hits the bear trap.
Mm-hmm. No, well, so he hears the creature like walking out of the water.
Yeah,
walking
out of the
water.
Yeah, walks out of the water. Yep. And then because he's got the rifle on it, he's got the rifle pointed at it, doesn't he?
No. So at this point, he has no gun.
Yeah, he pulls out the knife.
The knife.
Yep.
The knife.
And then the creature is standing there, and then takes the mask.
The mask off.
Shows who it is.
And guess it's fucking
Star.
It's
Star.
I didn't see that coming. I was like,
nope.
Oh, okay. So it was just gonna be a creature, but okay, we did a scream. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like some kind of like Native American like spirit thing.
Technically it was. She's dead.
Yeah, with the face, I was like, it's a skinwalker. That's kind of what I'm thinking, and especially the scene where they saw it turn around. I'm like, that fits like the mythos, because skinwalkers are like shapeshifters. They can like basically transform into anything, and when they're in their like normal form, they basically look like a mongoloid retarded deer. Like, to be a bit blunt with it, but yeah. So
do you remember what Buck said it looked like? He said, "What do you think that was out there? It looks like a possum."
Looks like a possum.
Looks like a fucking possum.
What kind of possum?
Yeah, like I've seen a fucking million possums. Like, that ain't a possum. So yeah, he's like, yeah, I thought you were dead. And then they flash back, and you see that it was Buck that fucking killed Star outside of the bar.
JB. Not Buck.
JB.
Or JB, not
Yeah.
Buck. Jesus Christ. JB.
Didn't see that coming.
No,
Shit.
I was like,
I was thrown through 2 loops. At first, I
Mhm.
thought it was the redneck asshole,
Mhm.
or it was going to be Carlos because he was showing the tendencies, and also he had the fucking knife.
Mhm.
yep.
No, I was fooled twice, and I was like,
Yeah,
what the
JB.
fuck?
But they show him
Mhm.
he's smashing his own truck up to blame the fucking guys to start the fight and shit.
Rinsed the knife off and then sat on the toilet and was
Yeah,
like,
pretends to be drunk,
Yep.
which
Yeah.
I've definitely done before.
Yeah, I was
So
like,
my friends would leave
holy-
me alone. It's like, "Dude, keep drinking. And I was like, I'm gonna pretend I'm fucking shit faced.
I did. I guess I was like, what was the motivation to kill her though? Like, just like I mean, did I miss something? I was like,
I didn't catch it either.
yeah,
I
they
think
didn't really explain. The only thing that
No.
the only theory that I came up with is that he had some sort of hatred towards probably like
Native
that
Americans?
culture, like Native
Maybe.
Americans or something.
Yeah. I was like, I'll watch it again because now I just want to like listen to his dialogue up to the scene in the bar. Yeah, because I was like, okay, I'm like, is this guy just a fucking does he have something against? Because I was like, I don't remember him saying anything anti-Native American because they're hanging out with a Mexican and a black dude, so it's like it really wouldn't make sense for any of these other dudes to be racist.
What if
Like,
he's
no.
just a piece of shit and he's a rapist?
That's kind of what that's the only
Yeah.
logical explanation.
That's- yeah.
He's got some sort of secret.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
well,
but the
don't
thing
fucking
was
matter.
they never like, unless it was something subtle, but I never picked up,
I don't know. Gonna have to probably
like-
watch and make sure you catch something. I don't even think he
Yeah.
said one word to the bartender,
Mm-mm.
or maybe it was just like, "Can I get like a beer or something?"
He might have
But-
said
Yeah.
some stuff, but nothing crazy.
Yeah,
though.
But
I think
it was-
Trina's probably right. He was just like,
Yeah.
you know what? Fuck it. And he wasn't drunk either. Like he wasn't shit faced enough because remember he had to pretend to be.
Actually, now that I think about it, when they were all talking at the bar, didn't he make a comment to the bartender about her being like a Native American or something like that, like her kind? I feel like she did. Like he
I
did
don't know.
make a
Probably gonna have to
Did he?
rewatch.
I think
I-
he did.
Because like, I'm trying. Did he call her a squaw? It's or
Well,
No.
yeah. Well, he called her a
No,
squaw
no,
when she revealed herself.
yeah, he did that. But like, I'm trying to like because now that you mentioned it, Jay, I'm trying to think, man. It's bothering me because there's got to be something there. Because if not, then it's so little payoff for what's a kind of a cool fucking twist. You know what I mean? So I feel like I miss like a piece, like a small snippet. That's all it was just one tiny little thread, probably. But yeah, Trina, you're right. The guy was just a fucking rapist, just a douchebag, asshole, cocksucker. And yeah, I mean, like, and it made sense for him to get off the way he did, absolutely. And then you see, fucking Wes is alive.
Well, I
And-
mean, don't forget JB. That's when JB steps into the bear trap.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
steps
Yeah.
into the
Bear
bear
trap.
trap, and then she throws the tomahawk at him. It goes like past him, but
Oh,
then
that's right. Yeah,
it, like end
Yep.
up actually like cutting like it like
like it's
skinned
like
him or something.
like it's
Scalped him.
the
Scalped
back of
him,
him
yeah.
to see the brain,
Mhm.
and I was like, oh shit.
And then here comes Wes.
oh, hold on. Then she picks up the knife and then gives him what he did to her, which
Yeah,
was the
stabbed him in the side
Right
of the
in the
head.
ear.
That's right. And then
Here.
and then
and
Leon,
then Wes appears.
yeah, then Leon comes out
Yeah.
the water and then looks at her and is going like confused at everything.
Yeah.
And then like tries to talk to her and then she picks him up.
The
and chokes
Undertaker
him.
throat lift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just straight up. I was like, is she about to do
And then
him
he said,
wrong?
please. And then she put him down. And then
Yeah, because well, he didn't do anything. He,
He
didn't
did,
eat
yep.
the heart.
he was the
He
only
didn't
good
kill
one.
anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you know he was the
Yeah.
good boy.
So
Yeah.
she put him down and I guess she didn't say nothing. She just kind of like looked at him, put the mask on,
Yeah.
grabbed the chain and pulled him into the
Pulled the
water.
guy
Yeah.
into the fucking lake, just
Yeah.
going.
Yep.
Okay. Then he
Yeah.
escapes, runs out
Yeah.
to the road.
Yeah.
And yeah, because he runs out and he runs into the cop and he gets in the car and fucking Simon pops out of the back
Yeah.
seat.
I fucking jump scare.
Where
Dude, Wes!
have you been? I've been lost for days, dude.
Yeah.
I got lost his shit out here.
Yeah.
And you didn't. Well, I mean, I don't think that he did anything either. He didn't shoot anything.
No.
Or...
No,
play
Simon
Simon.
didn't do anything.
No.
So
Yeah.
he played Simon
Yeah.
and lived.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he didn't do anything. And yeah, it's like, so they're like, what was that? What do you think that was? And sheriff's just like, it's a bear.
It's a bear. And
It's a bear.
that's
It's
what Wes
always
was
a
gonna
bear.
say. He was like,
Always
it's
a bear.
something.
And it was
It's
like
a
he was
bear.
like, oh, it's a bear tag.
And he
Bear
says
tag.
it's always
It's
a
It's
bear.
always a bear.
And then fucking
It just peels out of there.
Yep.
and then you get the shot of like the missing poster or the poster
Of the
those
two girls missing.
girls.
Then it
And
changes.
Then it changes. Fast forwards time
to 2024.
2024.
Big time jump. Big
Yeah.
in universe time jump.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, they got it really well for the 2024 shit. You know,
Oh, yeah, the
people on the
dude-
side of the road, you know, meat is murder. You
Meat
know,
is murder. The
stop
dude
that.
comes out looking like a hipster smoking a vape.
No,
you know?
modernized, no cigarette, just a fucking.
And it's just like, I love animals. They're
taste
delicious. And
delicious.
it's like, you know what else is delicious? If you eat my dick.
Yeah, you should eat my dick.
Yeah.
And he said, "Bitch."
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my god, this is such like the. He's such a Chad. He's such a.
Oh,
Walks in the
Chad.
bar with his friends, meets
Yep.
up, and it's
Dude,
like,
let's get fucked up.
let's get messed up, dude. He's like, yeah, can we get a couple of seltzers?
Yeah. He said
White
he
Claws.
names off some like just pussy ass fucking drinks. I'm like, oh my god, dude, like this is so accurate. Like this is I was like, they went to Ferris State and they found the douchiest fucking like frat bros they could find for this. And they're like, hey, we just need some extras. Come in and act
Yep.
natural. Like act like you're down at what the fuck is that college bar? I can't even think of it anymore downtown. But it used to be the Odyssey over there, I think it was. But yeah, it's like just fucking, and you turn around, you're at the bar and you see the bartender and it's Star.
It's
She
Star.
is
back.
she's
So-
back.
You're meant to believe that. I guess she knows that there's always someone who's gonna fucking kill her
For some
or
reason.
something.
Yep.
I mean, because I guess guys are assholes like that. And you're just like, you know what? Kill her again. The fucking guy makes like some dumbass remark. He was like,
Yeah.
Pocahontas.
Yeah,
and I was like,
Pocahontas,
Pocahontas,
yeah.
yes.
Pocahontas ass. Yeah.
stop.
I think we
get
called one of the
fucked up.
girls on Mug Shorties that last night. Hang on a second. Let me pull her picture up. We did, because right here, this chick. We called her Pocahontas. This one right here.
Is that a mugshot?
Yeah, absolutely.
What'd she
This is what she
do?
got: aggravated battery and aggravated assault with a
Oh,
weapon.
damn.
Bro, you know there's someone out there who's like, I can fix her.
I could
Oh,
fix
I
it.
no. Why
Yeah,
would you
all the
wanna-
guys on the panel then.
I was like, I don't want to fix her. I just, I mean, I will. I will. I mean, I'd go far as to say, I mean, shit,
Oh my
you know,
god!
I would.
It's great.
It's not a PG
Awesome.
show, kids. It's not a PG show.
No, look, when
Um,
I turned this movie on, the first thing
It
YouTube
showed
said was PG-13. I was like,
and we were
oh,
no
damn.
way.
And then they started cursing and shit, and I was like, there's no way this is PG-13.
Yeah, 3 curse
Yeah,
words in the first 2 minutes. It's
Yeah.
like, no.
Because I just watched,
I-
like I told you, I watched Tarot, and it was PG-13, and it was obvious.
This is R on the box.
It said PG-13
It was
on the
PG-13
TV.
on my TV. I rented it, I didn't buy a physical copy.
Oh yeah,
So-
the I guess they must have, I don't know if there's a different. This actually got theatrical releases too.
Oh shit! That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, they did select. I'm going to I want to look that up actually and see what it did, but so that was Deer Camp 86, and like I said, it's Michigan made. I know what they were going for. Like I said, the dialogue for me was some of the worst parts of the movie. Other than that, and some of the character interactions. I mean, I enjoyed it. I bought it. I'll probably watch it again because now I'm very curious about the JB thread.
Yeah.
But I'll watch it again. Absolutely. This will be honestly something I probably take up to our cabin and watch with like my father-in-law up there over Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I've always wanted to go to like a log cabin in the middle of fucking nowhere. My friend had one when I was a kid, and it was the coziest fucking thing, and it was down the path of the woods. So nice. I want to go down there as an adult so I can take it in and just have a fucking fire.
Put on your Jason costume and just
Put on my
walk around
Jason
in the
costume
woods
and just
practice.
I would.
That's-
Yeah.
That's my in-laws. Our place on the river is like that. It was like originally a log cabin built in like the 30s or the 20s, and it's been converted into like a full house now, but it still has the complete log aesthetic and everything. The river is like right down the hill. We have 2 docks. Yeah, it's about a half mile off the road, like down like a 2-track. Yeah, but you go down there and it's like a blacktop driveway, and it's all like, I mean, it's got like a backup generator, I mean, my father-in-law's paraplegic, so it's like all handicap accessible. We have like a ramp that goes down to the river to like the docks and stuff, so you can still fish. But yeah, dude, trust me, I'm gonna shoot some footage up there in the Jason get up this fall for fun.
I can't wait to finish mine for my next, because the Freddy vs. Jason video I did, which is like my biggest video.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait to do the one for the remake. It's like I was looking so forward to it. It's like I'm finally done. I want to show you guys what I did, just for someone to be like decent. Only been working on it for a year, but
time well spent though. Once it's paid,
absolutely
rock that bitch, man. All right, so I'm gonna on a 5 to score this. Whoo!
It's kind of tough to rate.
It is. I was kind of like this with In a Violent Nature, which I'm pretty sure I gave that like a 2.5.
I really enjoyed that. I watched that with my girlfriend, and she was like so bored out of it. Like not even 10 minutes in, she was on her phone. I was just like, "Are you watching at all? Did you just see that?"
I haven't watched it.
No, but I showed you the yoga kill.
Oh yeah,
that was fucking amazing. That was amazing.
The first thing I thought when he showed me was that I was like, "Oh, they're just doing another Friday the 13th, practically." I mean, except with a 1920s fighter helmet.
Yep,
creepy. Yeah, but then he just kept going. I was like,
"Yeah." When he showed me that, I went, "Oh my god!" I was like, I've never seen something like that done before. That's wild.
Like watching your first porn movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're like,
pretty much.
You're like, what? Whoa, what's happening?
Rewind. Because I watched that kill 3 times when I first watched it. I was like, I'm rewinding this again. I'll finish it in a minute. I just need to see this again. Because when her neck just does that and you see the bone, I was like, oh
yeah, it's crazy.
And I've seen all the Hatchet films, and so have you, and they didn't do anything like that.
And it makes it kind of funnier when you think of it, because like she's already pretty much dead.
Yeah.
So how is her leg still holding her for that much force to be
movie's got a movie at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
When you put your foot on someone's back to pull their fucking head through their chest.
Yeah.
Wrapping your hand around the chain too. And it's like, and that movie was already approved for part 2. So I'm excited to see what they do with that with the next big
I definitely watch that with you for sure.
I would just say, just don't do it if you're bored and if it's raining outside, because you can easily get like kind of like, he's walking again.
I wish they didn't do the face reveal. I hated that.
It looked like zombie kind of Jason from like Never Hike Alone, like the face, and I was like, damn it!
I know.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done a face reveal. Shouldn't have happened. I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give this a 2. I'm gonna go a 2. It was, the effort was there. I don't hate it. I'm gonna go. I liked it more than A Violent Nature. Fuck that. I'm going 2 3/4. I'm doing Dave Meltzer. I'll go 2 3/4 stars. 2 3/4.
Fuck. I'm trying to read this now. Do you have a rating?
It was difficult because I did enjoy it. I will watch it again, but I'll go 2 3/4.
Do you know what I rated In a Violent Nature?
I gave that, I think, 2.5. Didn't you give that a 2?
Can't remember.
I'm looking. I don't know which notebook it is. I gotta look through them. I have so many fucking notebooks around here. It's stupid. Fuck. That was a Scarecrow's review. This is Dynamite 250. So that was like 3 weeks ago. Wait, what's this one? Hang on. Nope. This is SmackDown. Jesus, help me, Rhonda. I don't know. I'm retarded. I don't know. This is from Raw on July 8th.
It's okay. You don't have to keep.
I don't know. I can keep reading notes. I have no idea.
It's okay. I think I'm gonna do 2 as well.
Yeah.
All right, you want to go next? I'm still deciding in my head.
For one of the cases of like, I've never even heard of this movie until he told me about it, and I was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, interesting." So, like, just right off the bat, I'm probably going to be in the middle. I'll probably do 3, just because of the fact that it's like it's more obviously more comedy than it is horror, but it was kind of put together pretty decently for what it is, and for being cheap, you know. It had some pretty decent CGI and all those effects, and you know, them trying to put it in the 86 like year span is. You know, they tried at least, so I'd probably go with a 3 just because it's interesting. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't my favorite. No. It's cool that I watched it. Would I ever watch it again? I'm not too sure. Maybe.
Yeah. But if you wanted continuity, just to see if you mixed anything
up. But it's kind of one of those movies where it's like, all right, I've seen it. That's good enough, you know.
Didn't you say that about when I showed you Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
you was like, I'll never watch that again.
I was like, oh, that's good. I really liked it, but do I need to watch it again? No, not really. Yeah.
I mean, not like I've watched it 30 times so far. Jeez. For me, I'm gonna go with 2.5. That's my rating. Because as far as all the Walmart horror films that I've watched, and I've seen a lot. Like I got I know I've mentioned it to a Etep before, but I got Velocipaster as one of those ones in a bundle, and I was like, what? Leprechaun's Game, that was even worse, at least in my opinion. But as far as like, you know, Walmart horror, which you know to expect.
Yeah, this is a good Walmart.
Yeah.
Would I watch it again? Yeah, for continuity. I think it's a good way to kill like
some time.
80 minutes, you know.
86-minute runtime. It's perfect. And the editor, I listened to an interview with the editor, and he even said the initial cut was 77 minutes, and they came back and said, we can't release that theatrically. And he said, we only cut out one scene. So they did pickups, and they shot those down in like Tampa, the Tampa area or something like that, at some like back lot or something they did. So they just did a few pickups down there to add like 9 minutes to the movie. And that's where we got a couple fill-in scenes.
They had to get it to 86 for the 86 year.
Yep.
Well, I mean, yeah, they could have easily done that, but like even when it's like small things like that, like songs or like movies or scripts I've written, I'm like, it's too short. Like I just got to add like that extra, you know, like 5 minutes in. You got to add another "the" to the sentence.
That's what they did. That's how they got there. Yeah, but yeah, that runtime under 90 minutes, pretty much perfect. Yep.
Which I think that's actually I think the Terrifier 3 is. I know the director said it's going to be shorter than Terrifier 2, which remember it's 2 hours and 18 minutes. He said it's going to be shorter, so I think it's going to be like hour 45 or something like that. I don't know.
Unless it's just 2 hours exactly.
He took away 18 minutes.
Took away 18 minutes.
I mean, I'll take it. I know that I'm probably going to really enjoy it, even if it's not a good script. The gore alone. Did you watch the teaser trailer for Terrifier 3 yet?
Yeah, I did.
The difference, like especially in cinematography compared to the first Terrifier, I was like,
I haven't seen the trailer for it.
The teaser?
Yeah.
Fuck, we'll watch it before we do the Terrifier 2 thing. Because only 10:32. So.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, we'll decide on that.
Yeah. So, did you come up with a score, Tyler? What'd you say? You said
mine was 2.5.
2.5.
It's a good way to kill some time.
Yeah.
Interesting story. Not the worst horror film I've seen in Walmart. And I bet you I'll go to Walmart next week and I'll see another new horror film. And it's probably going to have another ghost in it or another shitty character
It's a good way to learn more funny words and insults to say that I'm like, I've never heard of that one before. I'm going to use that. That's funny.
Next time my dad's bitching about his coffee getting cold because he was making breakfast, I'm gonna say, shove that shit back in your ass, man, and just go heat it up.
Shove it right back up your ass. That's what you do. Don't be a hill jack.
Or if I go to my parents' house and my mom's, dude, I don't know why, but I love my mom to death. But whenever you lose the remote, it's just like the house is exploding. What? What's the remote? And everyone's frantically looking, and then finally, when you give it to her, she's like, oh. Sometimes it's like on her. She's like,
she has it the whole time.
Yeah, but then she won't admit it. She won't go, found it. She'll go, who the fuck put this there? Who the fuck did that?
Secretly, she just has it the whole time. It's just like, I'm gonna see who's just gonna, who's gonna admit it.
Who's going to admit it just to get this over with?
Yeah.
Who's gonna cop to this?
She just wants everyone to be in like chaos. Being like, where's the remote? She has it the whole time. She's like, hey.
Idiots.
She's like, I had it the whole time.
But thank you, everybody, for joining this evening. Thank you to our channel members and patrons. Be sure to subscribe to Tyler. His link will be on that description. Get over, subscribe to him. Thank you, Tyler and Jason. And, of course, thank you, Trina, as always.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, everybody in the chat. We'll be back tomorrow night, depending on how golf goes, if it's raining tomorrow or not. We'll start we're planning on an 8:05 start time for tomorrow night, though. We gotta do tomorrow's Enemy Gold from 1993. That's another Andy Sedaris movie in the Bullets, Bombs, and Babes Lethal Lady series. Julie Strain in this one, and yeah, it'll be the gratuitous tits and explosions and all the violence that you want in those movies. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Be sure to join that. We're going to record the Terrifier 2 commentary right now for Patreon. That'll be available tomorrow. Wrestling with Horror /Patreon.com. We will catch you guys on the next one.